Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 1003 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. According to the Associated Press, South Korean Defense Minister Shin Won-sik informed that Russia has supplied North Korea with anti-aircraft missiles in exchange for sending troops to join the war against Ukraine, reports ICTV. Won-sik added that Russia had provided North Korea with various economic aid as well. AP reports that Seoul and Washington have expressed concern over Russia's possible provision of sensitive nuclear and missile technology to North Korea. Earlier reports indicated that Russia has supplied North Korea with more than 1 million barrels of oil since March 2024, likely in payment for military support. Bloomberg said North Korea could send up to 100,000 troops to support Russia's war against Ukraine. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family, as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky said in his evening video address that Ukraine now has more details about the new missile that Russia used to hit the city of Dnipro. He stressed that Ukraine will provide all the details to journalists as, quote, "The world must know the truth and realize that the only party that does not want peace is Russia," unquote. The president added that he is grateful to all partners who have already responded to the situation but emphasized that action is needed. Quote, "On my instructions, the Minister of Defense of Ukraine is already holding meetings with our partners on new air defense systems, the kind of systems that can protect lives from new risks," unquote. The head of state reminded Ukrainians about the need to follow all security protocols as before. Quote, "If you hear an air raid alert, you have to react. Take care of yourself and go to the shelter. Whatever the Russian missile threat is, it cannot be ignored," unquote. Volodymyr Zelensky informed that he started the process of stripping individuals who supported Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine, state awards and honorary titles. Quote, "All of them chose to support the criminal war against Ukraine and thus lost their dignity. I do not even want to mention their names, and they will never be here in Ukraine again. So we will eliminate all their ties to Ukraine," unquote. The office of the president informed that 34 people will be deprived of their awards first, reports Slovo y Dilo. Among them are former government officials, MPs, heads of the Security Service of Ukraine and the Prosecutor General's office, prosecutors, artists, Russian political, religious and cultural figures. All of them have been deprived of state awards of Ukraine indefinitely. For example, among them are former MP and now Russian agent Andriy Derkach, head of the Russian Orthodox Church and former KGB agent Patriarch Kirill, Russian singers Nikolai Baskov, Philip Kirkorov, Alexander Malinin, and Russian composer Igor Krutoy, former Ukrainian singers Ani Lorak and Taisia Povaliy. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.